in the bright and colourful land of Sunpetal Valley. Every fairy had a special magic. Some could make flowers dance. Some could paint rainbows in the sky, and some could talk to butterflies. But there was one fairy whose magic was unusual. Her name was Pippa, and she was known everywhere as the Sneezing Fairy. Pippa was small, cheerful, and always full of energy. She had pink wings with tiny silver dots, and she wore a green dress made of soft leaves. But no matter where she went, one sound followed her. Ah ha! Achoo! Every time Pippa sneezed, magic burst out in the strangest ways. Sometimes her sneeze made dandelions explode into clouds of seeds. Sometimes it turned raindrops into glitter. Once, her sneeze was so strong that it blew half the Fairy Bakery's cakes off the shelves. It was not easy being the Sneezing Fairy. The other fairies loved Pippa, but they were always nervous around her magic sneezes. Pippa tried her best to control them. She drank honey tea, held her nose, breathed slowly, and even tried stuffing cotton in her ears for some strange reason. Nothing worked. One sunny morning, the Queen of the Valley, Queen Magnolia, announced a grand celebration. It was the Festival of Bloom, the most important fairy event of the year. All the flowers bloomed at the same time, and the fairies performed magic to welcome spring. Every fairy had a job. The rainbow fairies would create colourful skies. The breeze fairies would guide petals through the air. The light fairies would make sparkling lanterns. And Pippa, the Sneezing Fairy, was given a very simple job: carry one tray of flower petals. Just petals. Pippa told herself. No magic, no sneezing, no trouble. She practiced walking with the tray. She practiced breathing slowly. She even stayed away from flowers with strong scents. Pippa wanted everything to go perfectly. At last, the day of the festival arrived. The valley looked beautiful. Flowers of every colour covered the hills. Butterflies danced like floating jewels. Music drifted through the air. Pippa smiled proudly as she flew with her tray of petals. But just as she reached the centre of the festival grounds, disaster happened. A tiny tickle crept into Pippa's nose. "Oh no," she whispered. "Not now, not here." Her wings fluttered nervously. She tried to hold the sneeze back. No, 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 ah. She turned her head away, trying to aim the sneeze at the ground. But her magic had other plans. Achoo! A huge burst of sparkly wind shot from her nose. The tray flew into the air. The flower petals whirled like a colourful tornado. The decorations trembled. Rainbow ribbons tangled. The musicians dropped their instruments. For a moment, the whole festival turned into a storm of petals and glitter. Pippa's face turned bright red. She landed quietly on the grass and hid her face in her hands. "I ruined everything," she whispered. But something strange happened. Instead of being upset, the fairies were laughing. Soft, warm, happy laughter. The flower petals were spinning beautifully in the air, forming shapes of butterflies, hearts, and stars. Children were running in circles, trying to catch the glowing petals. Even Queen Magnolia looked surprised, but she was smiling. "My goodness," the Queen said. "What a magical display." Pippa peeked through her fingers. I didn't mean to do it." "No magic is a mistake," Queen Magnolia said. "Sometimes the most unexpected magic creates the most beautiful moments." The Queen lifted her wand and created a gentle breeze. The petals floated like dancing lights and settled softly onto the stage. The fairies gathered around Pippa. "That sneeze was amazing. Do it again. Can you sneeze out glitter next time?" Pippa felt her heart fill with hope. You're not upset." "Upset?" the Queen said. "Pippa, your magic sneeze created a display more stunning than anything we planned. I would like you to perform again, On purpose. Pippa's eyes widened. On purpose. Yes, Queen Magnolia said. You will be the highlight of the Festival of Bloom. Pippa had never been the highlight of anything before. She felt nervous but excited. The lights dimmed. Music began to play again. All the fairies gathered, waiting for the big moment. Pippa stepped forward, took a deep breath, and stood under a giant flower arch. She fluttered her wings. She wiggled her nose, and then, achoo! This time the sneeze created a magnificent burst of magic. Hundreds of petals shot into the sky, glowing with warm golden light. They swirled like a galaxy, creating patterns of dragons, birds, and blooming flowers. The entire valley sparkled, as if stardust had fallen from the heavens. The fairies cheered, children clapped. Queen Magnolia's eyes shone with pride. Pippa, she said, you have turned your sneeze into art. Pippa finally realized something important. Her magic may have been unusual, and sometimes messy, but it was special, and special magic has a place in the world. From that day on, Pippa became known not just as the Sneezing Fairy, but as Pippa the Wonderwhirl Fairy, the fairy whose magical sneezes brought joy, sparkle, and unexpected beauty wherever she went. And every spring, the Festival of Bloom saved a special moment for her, so she could sneeze her magic across the valley and make everyone smile. Thanks for listening to our story. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more magical adventures. See you next time.